I always thought I wanted to be a guru, but I realized I'm a practitioner. If you're new here, my name is Tyler. I'm from Southern California. I left high school at 16, not knowing what I wanted to do, but I always knew that I wanted to do something that was my own. I ended up as a real estate broker and participated in over $200 million in deals in my early 20s. I now own and operate coffee shops in LA and invest in real estate, but I'm really just a normal guy. This is just a peek into my life. Follow me as I navigate where entrepreneurship will take me next. So tomorrow is actually my birthday. I'm going to be turning 31 years old. I know I'm a lot older than I actually look. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm going to head over to the cafe right now. I have an interview for a new employee at 11. Today's Friday, so I actually usually don't do that much on Fridays. Fridays are usually a really relaxed, chill day. Got home and I showered, and the reason why I'm whispering is because I'm the only one up in my house right now, and this room echoes really bad. So in about 19 minutes, I turned 31 years old. I was talking to one of my customers about it today, who's in his 40s, and I was telling him I honestly feel like I'm like 25. And the reason is, when COVID started, I was 25 years old. So that took, a couple years out of everyone's life. On top of that, I actually had a stroke when I was 27. So that took another year and a half out of my life. So my whole mid to late 20s, I was in COVID, and then I was in and out of rehabs in the hospital. And through that experience, that's actually when I came to a lot of these realizations that I have about my life now. I focus much more now on trying to build a business that's sustainable. I focus on things that are repeatable because my physical condition isn't that great. I try my best to do things to make money that only use my brain. I'm going to sleep. I actually have a day trip planned with some of my friends tomorrow. Welcome to my office. This is actually a back storage room that we just shove some furniture in and turn into an office. It's really small, but it gets the job done. So today I'm going to sift through all the applications. We actually got a lot more than I was expecting, but it is summertime, so we do get a lot of students that apply. Unfortunately, the biggest problem is that by the time they actually train, they have to go back to school. So we generally look for people that can stay at least 6 months, which I think is fairly reasonable. And what we try to do is we just get applicants that are close to where our geographic area is, and they plan on staying or going to colleges in the area. We used to be a little bit more picky choosy about past job history, what their experience is, but what we've realized is this job is 100% teachable. And so now what we focus on when we interview people is just trying to get an understanding of who they are, what their attitude is, because that's the one thing that you really cannot change about a person. If they have a really good attitude and they're willing to grow, there's almost nothing that you can't teach them that they will catch on to eventually. Sometimes people with experience, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Another thing that we do is we try to hire younger people, and we hope that I know it's only like their first job, and they probably won't learn a lot of technical skills that will help them in their future, but we do hope that they can learn small things, whether it's attitude, work ethic, organization skills, that they can carry on into their future jobs. In every single interview, I explain like the circle of our synergistic relationship. So if we're good to our employees, their employees will be good to the other employees, and that will hopefully trickle down into being good to the customers, which in turn they will come back and it helps us. So one saying that I always try to stick to is be good to your customers and take care of them, and they will be good and take care of you. I have a love-hate relationship with working with the public, and the main reason is you just meet all different types of people. Now, one of my personal passions is watches. In another life, I'd probably be a luxury watch dealer. So I saw this customer and he normally wears a Rolex Root Beer, but today he was wearing a Lange 1815 yellow gold on a leather strap. Now, in the world of watches, you have Rolex and like AP. A lot of people wear those brands because they're recognizable. There's nothing wrong with them. I love both of those brands. So I went up and struck up a conversation with him, and we just started talking about watches, and we nerded out about watches for a good 20 minutes. It turns out in his collection, he also has a Vacheron Overseas, the Rolex Root Beer, an IWC, and a JLC Master Ultra Thin. It turned out to be a great conversation, and it was really cool just to connect with one of my customers. And it was really cool that he was wearing a Lange, because you know that he didn't drop $30,000 just to flex. So my wife didn't feel well this weekend. After resting today, she wanted to go out for a little, so we decided to go to the beach. I haven't been down here in so long, and luckily it wasn't that cold tonight. This is the Lighthouse Cafe. It was actually featured in La La Land with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. It's pretty peaceful here tonight. Being that it's a sunny night, it's not super busy. Usually this place is bustling with people. Finally, she wanted to get some gelato, so we stopped by Capri on Hermosa Ave. This thing is absolutely huge. I didn't realize it was going to be this big. So I am officially 31 years old. One of my employees asked me if I had any goals for the year 31. And for the first time probably in a couple years, I had no idea. I usually think about this stuff. I was really always about like goal setting and milestones and working towards something every single year. But this year I just really didn't have an answer. And I think through my 20s, I was such like a go, go, go type of person. And to be honest, I probably wasn't the most healthy physically and mentally. And maybe now that I'm a little bit older, I just want to live and build a life that I have peace of mind in doing. And I think my health struggles kind of led me to this conclusion as well. The last couple of years, I went through like a pretty serious existential crisis. And not for the first time, but just something that I really actually thought about. Like, what is the point of working? What is the point of doing all these things? What is the point of all of this? To be honest, don't have like an intrinsic cosmic answer still. But what I know is that I wanted to lead a life that I'm proud of. And I actually have this quote on my phone. It says, figure out what you want, ignore the opinions of others, and do so much work that it would be unreasonable that you fail. I think that is kind of like my mantra right now, that I want to live a life that has purpose, that has direction and vision, that I know what I want, that I don't care about the opinion of others. Not that I don't care what other people think, but I'm not going to let their opinions dictate my outcomes or my decisions. I'm not going to make decisions predicated on what other people think. And then lastly, to really work with integrity, to work towards those goals relentlessly. And I think that's been a big shift, that it's not so much about the goal itself. It's about being myself accountable to do the work and to be who I say I'm going to be and to do the things I say I'm going to do. And I think that's been like one of the biggest shifts that I've seen in myself through my 20s into my 30s. I was always so goal-oriented about the dollar amount of how much money I was going to make. I think goals are good. Like on paper, you need to have goals, but sometimes they kind of drown out the process. And I know this sounds really cheesy, but I think I missed a lot of my 20s because I wasn't present. I think that's probably a goal for year 31 and onto the rest of my life, is that I want to be present in the things that I do. Every so often I try to write down on paper just moments that I call touching grass, when I really feel like I'm connecting with who I am and what I'm doing, and I'm conscious of my decisions and I'm conscious of what I'm doing, to live an intentional life, not just because I feel like other people want me to, or because I feel like it's the right thing to do because I want to do it. And I think that's a big part of this whole documenting journey, is to hopefully live an intentional life on camera. That's kind of what my goal is for year 31 and maybe onwards. Live a life that's intentional.